Hey everyone, I wanted to give you a little intro and some hints for this week, week 5. Now, this is a tough week. We have another exam on chapters 2 and 3. And in my mind, I think it's the toughest exam. I think the final exam may not be as tough for you, but this is tough because it has all the applications, the max and min problems, and of course, you're just getting on overload at this point. You're really stressed. You've had a lot going on and smashed into a very short period of time. So all I can tell you is hang in there. I'm going to try to help you out here with a little bit of what's happening this week. So you're going to have a quiz on Tuesday on elasticity. It's just one problem, one elasticity problem to do. So just know your elasticity formula and show your work. And I think you're going to be fine on that. You've got your notes to use. Just be sure you've watched the videos. And I think, like I said, I think you'll be good. Then you have section 2.7 on what's called implicit differentiation and related rates. So I'll tell you now that I'm not going to ask you about related rates on the test, but implicit differentiation, yes. So, I realize now you sort of have to make sometimes decisions on what should I do, what should I not do. So I'm just trying to help you with a little bit of that. If you're running low on time, practice your implicit differentiation and let related rates go, okay, if you have to. Now we also have chapter 3, which is a short chapter. There's 3 sections in here. And in chapter 3, you're going to learn about derivatives of exponential and log functions. You got to do this. The good thing about it is it's going to give you a review of the product, the quotient, and the chain rules, because you're going to practice those rules all over again here, but on exponential and log functions. Okay. And then there'll be applications. And the good thing about section 3.3, it's nothing new except for you're going to practice some old applications using your new rules for exponential and log functions. Okay, so it'll give you also a review of elasticity in there, maximums and minimums. Okay, so that's the kind of nice thing. And then of course we have our test. And then the test being again 10 problems. All right, now let me share my other screen here. I want to be a little bit more specific with you, or try to help you out anyhow with, more specifically kind of what will be on that test. So let me pop this up here for you, see if I can help a little bit. All right, so we talked about our quiz. We talked about chapter 3. Don't forget again on our test, on our exam, you cannot use apps. Don't use them. Don't be tempted to use them, because I won't give you credit for problems where I feel like you're using apps, where it doesn't look like the way we've done them in class. Okay. Oh, also another note, we won't have a discussion board this week. So once you get that test done, your weekend will be off. And I realize you don't really get weekends off because you have the next chapter to jump into, but anyhow, there won't be a discussion board. Okay, so let me talk about the 10 problems on the test and try to help you with narrowing down what you need to make sure you can do. So one of the problems will be practicing your derivatives of exponential and log functions, what you do in chapter 3. Another problem, interpreting derivatives. Now we've been doing derivatives for a while, so I'm hoping you have an idea in an application if you have to explain what the derivative is, right? That derivative is telling you the rate of change. So anytime you get an answer for a derivative, that you label it so that it reflects a rate of change, miles per hour, units per day, things like that. You'll have an implicit differentiation problem. I'll ask you to find a tangent line. We had that probably on the last test too. Find maxes and mins. Right? That's what we've been doing. Application where you have to find a max or a min. An inventory problem. Okay, there was one on the discussion board. Another application, I'm just going to go with a general, say, application. I'll ask you to find concavity or inflection points on a function. Remember, concavity and inflection points are when you use the second derivative, right? Maxes and mins, you have to find critical points with the first derivative. And then you can use the second derivative if you want to prove max or mins. And then an elasticity problem. So if you practice the one on the quiz on Tuesday, then you're probably going to be ready for the one on the test. The main mistake I find on this test is that when you do identify a max or a min, or maybe even when you just get the critical point. You have to make sure you do that last step where you prove it's a max or a min. And remember, you have two options for doing that. One option is you do that number line test, right? You put your critical point on it and you test points on each side in your first derivative, right? So you have to prove that your critical point is a max or min by either that test, or you prove it by the second derivative test, right? So you have two ways of proving. But if I say find a max and you get the critical point, and you just assume it's the max, I won't give you full credit for that. You have to prove that it is, right? You never want to assume that it's a max or a min until you really know for sure, until you prove it by either first derivative test or second derivative test, okay? Every example I've always done, I've done that. So if you're following the way I'm doing the problems, you're going to remember to do that, okay? Now, I have one other thing for you. Our test is scheduled for Friday. If you would like to take that test instead on Saturday, I would be okay with that. I'm trying to spell Saturday here. Okay, let's do that. But you're going to need to tell me. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and this is for extra credit here, I'm going to give you 5 points on your test. Okay, just 5 points on the exam. That's pretty nice. All you've got to do is email me and tell me I want to take the test Friday or I want to take the test Saturday. And that way I'll know when to open the test for you. You'll have all day on either day you pick to do it. You just have to tell me which day. Now, of course, if I don't hear from you, it's going to just stay on Friday like it's originally scheduled. But if you'd like that extra day, and I don't blame you if you do, let's take it on Saturday. But you just have to send me an email, right? An email. Okay. Don't send it on Pronto. Just shoot me an email. Just do it through Canvas. It's easy. And let me know which day you'd prefer to take your test, and I'll set it up that way. Again, if I don't hear from you, I'll assume Friday is it. But the nice thing is if you email me, you can get those 5 points on your test. All right. Thanks for watching. Keep in touch with me on Pronto. I'm happy to help any way I can. I'm trying. I'll be on Zoom on Tuesday from 4 to 5:30. Pop in and have me do a problem for you if you need, whatever. Okay, I'll be around. Okay, good luck, gang. Hang in there. You know, the end is near. I swear, you're almost there. Okay, talk to you soon.